Hi, I'm Dave Gold. I'm the founder of Heart Powered Ventures. I want to talk about the WEBB2 program, which you may have previously known as Beyond the Black Square program. And as I was just telling Josh, who was recording this before, I'm not an activist. And I practiced law in West Virginia. That was my first career. In West Virginia, there was no diversity. The diversity was you had Scotch Irish, English Scotch, and English Irish. That was it. And in my business, my software business, again, not much diversity. I really didn't have much occasion to even think about it other than being a concerned citizen until I started the predecessor to Heart Powered Ventures with my partner at the time, Justin Minot, who was a 31-year-old hip black coffee shop owner in Durham. And we became fast friends and brothers and partners, and race was just became part of the conversation. We would talk about different things, and that teased out. And it really became more focused when after George Floyd, and we felt, especially Justin felt, that he needed to respond to that racial moment. And as his partner and friend, and also as a concerned citizen, I decided as well. We did some programs with bringing different people on. And what happened was some of my white business owner friends reached out to me and said, what can we do? And this was a question I was always asking: what's mine to do? What is mine to do in anything, but especially in this moment? And what became clear that what under-resourced entrepreneurs needed, or entrepreneurs of color, whatever we designated, most needed was access to networks. That because of the life that I've lived and the people that I know and the businesses I've been in and the people I've mentored, I know someone, or I'm one degree of separation from just about any resource that we might need. And this is not something that others should have the benefit of. And we decided that we wanted to open up those resources to entrepreneurs of color. And we started the Black Square program, where businesses could contribute resources, money, whatever, help, mentorship, and be able to bring these entrepreneurs of color into our Commonwealth group, and otherwise provide the kind of resources and access to networks that we need. Once we started onboarding people into that program, we ended up with this phenomenal configuration of people that you see here. Just the start of the 4 people that I happened to meet in different areas. And once we brought those together, I started working with these people and they started working together. I realized, oh, this is actually mine to do. That to provide a foundation, to provide a network within a network, to provide an engine of resources and growth for entrepreneurs of color, where they can support each other, be part of our Commonwealth group, and also bring other entrepreneurs of color into this program, into this matrix, into this developmental vortex that we've built with the WEBB2 program. That this is actually something really beautiful. It's changing these 4 entrepreneurs who started off in this program, who are the core of this, change their lives, changing their businesses. It is attracting other people. And as you watch and you listen, become more involved, I would ask you to ask yourself the question: what's yours to do? Is it to be a sponsor and to put money in so more people can come into the program? Is it to be a mentor? Is it to be a connector? But in one way or another, what we don't have we have the luxury of doing anything, but we don't have the luxury of doing nothing. And I would ask you again that if this touches your heart, step forward, help us out, and help these people grow something beautiful, create something beautiful, and change the face of their lives, change the face of other entrepreneurs' lives, Black entrepreneurs especially, but also to just be a kind of a new model for what it means for us to work together.
And we are live.
All right. Terrific, everyone. Welcome to our final Facebook Live Heart Powered Ventures session of the year. We are ending the year with a beginning of a program that has got me really excited, and which will be continuing on to the year. And we thought it would be a great upbeat way to kind of close out our recordings this year. So I'm Dave Gold. I'm the founder of Heart Powered Ventures. I want to introduce our cast of characters here. I'm here today with Rinny Orr, who's our operations manager. Hey, Rinny.
Hi.
And also Stacy. There she is. Oh, she's in the center of the Hollywood Square. Hi, Stacy Gunter. Good to have you back. Also, Josh McCormick. Did I get you? I knew it was Irish. I couldn't remember. Did I get the right Irish name?
Yeah, McCormick. It's spelled M-A-C-K, but I say McCormick. So.
Okay, very good. He's our producer. And also, we have 3 of our guests here today, which I'm going to briefly introduce, and then I'll introduce a little bit more fully later. I have Stephanie Terry. Hi, Stephanie. And Brandon Christian. sitting in the executive Oval Office there. And then we got
Yes.
Evan Springfield Cobb, who is out in the cosmos somewhere with those beautiful lights. And then TJ's phone, who we will shortly be joined by Toshua Alexander. So I want to tell you what we're going to be doing today. And I'm going to tell you how we actually came about this. I am just really thrilled to introduce the founding executive, premium members of the steering committee. I'm just thinking of all these titles that I can give for you four folks of our WEBB2 program, formerly known as Beyond the Black Square program. And this is a program, I'm going to give you a little bit of the history, that was designed to help under-resourced entrepreneurs, specifically entrepreneurs of color, to gain access and have the same resources or just level the playing field a bit in the entrepreneurial community. And I'm going to give you a short creation story of how this came to be. And because that'll give you a better idea of how we are at this moment and also what I think this moment means to all of us as entrepreneurs, for us as Commonwealth founding members, and also to the people that are on the screen. So as many of you know, my former partner, my co-founder of the predecessor of this business, Justin Minot, is a Black entrepreneur, a coffee shop owner, and many, many other things. And after the George Floyd and all the things that came with that, we were asking ourselves the question of what's ours to do? How do you respond to what was just coming up and so obviously something that was of such interest and such import for so many people? And obviously it's different for a 32-year-old Black businessman than it is for a 60-year-old white businessman. And then we were starting to be approached by people in our network who knew of our commitment to entrepreneurship and also to social justice, and asking that question of what is mine to do? What could mine do? So first we did a program, which was great. And after the program, we had this reckoning where we realized that from the feedback that we got from people and just from our own experience, that what entrepreneurs of color, under-resourced, whatever we call them, whatever we choose to name them, what they don't have mostly is access to network. I'm very fortunate. Like I said, I've been a trial lawyer. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've been a mentor. So whatever we need, there's somebody I know or I'm 1 degree of separation away. And that's not always true. So we came up with a program at the time. We called it Beyond the Black Square, because businesses wanted to do more than just post to social media Black Square. And the idea was that we would provide this access to network and other resources for, I'll just call them entrepreneurs of color going forward. And that was great. And we had businesses that stepped forward with money and with resources to help us in turn provide resources to others. And then we started to invite people into the program, and that's when all heaven broke loose. And these are the four people you hear are four people, three of them that I've met all four of them through other people or sometimes directly. And these are four entrepreneurs who have really demonstrated by their character and their persona and their effort and their heart, the whole entrepreneurial spirit, but also just the social consciousness of whether they identify, and they'll talk for themselves, whether they identify first as people of color or entrepreneurs, it doesn't matter. The fact is they want to do good, they want to be good, and through their efforts, and now through their collaborative efforts, they have formed the basis of an organization, which we now call WEBB2, and we'll get into the name of that, what that means, where they are not only advancing their own entrepreneurial ventures, but they are supporting each other in their entrepreneurial ventures, and they're providing a foundation where others can come in and they can support other entrepreneurs as well, of color and otherwise, in their endeavors. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to highlight the program, and I wanted to highlight these four people, and also extend this out as an open invitation. Two things. One, for you to ask yourself, what is yours to do in terms of the racial situation or climate in this country, whatever you call it, diversity, there's so many names. As you ask that question for yourself, as all of us on this screen have done and are continuing to do, but also how you might be able to participate and help with this program. Because as you'll see from the people that you're about to hear from, it's not only a beautiful initiative, these are beautiful people, and we're going to do big things. So that is a rather long-winded introduction, but I'm done. I've said my piece. So I am going to, first of all, introduce Stephanie Terry, who Rini, or, if Rini does nothing else for Heart Powered Ventures, and she does 100 things a day, that her place in the Heart Powered Ventures Hall of Fame is assured, just to introducing and bringing Stephanie on as a guest a couple weeks ago, and so much has happened. What is it, 2 weeks? Is that all it's been? Wow. And immediately she has become, to me and to us, a friend, a partner in this particular operation, and also one of the spearheaders of the WEBB2 program. So Stephanie is the founder and owner, and I guess co-owner of Sweetie's Southern Vegan. I'm sorry, I get on the names. I'll let you string the words together. But an incredible human being, and Stephanie is also one of the members, and like I said, one of the leaders in this effort with the WEBB2 program. So Stephanie, I'll turn it over to you. You can talk a little bit about the program and introduce some of your colleagues here as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. And it is just a truly a blessing and an honor to be a part of our group WEBB2, to be a part of this whole entire program, Heart Powered Ventures. This is just incredible. So I'll just give you just a little bit of background about my business, and then I'll introduce my wonderful cohorts and team members here, and they'll share a little bit about their business, and we'll go from there. So Dave, it's Sweetie's Southern Vegan Food Company. And we are currently shifting our business model from catering to manufacturing and distributing Southern plant-based meat and food products. Our vegan food products are so delicious that you don't know it's vegan. As a matter of fact, our slogan is, "It's as good as grandma's, only vegan." And our premier specialty products right now are our famous vegan mac and cheese. It's won awards all over the Durham Triangle. Our vegan chicken cutlets and nuggets, which a major Durham School City wants to have us supply it. And then our smoky barbecue vegan baked ribs. Our goal is to become a national brand, and our mission is to make the most delicious, lip-smacking vegan Southern food you've ever put in your mouth. So we're excited about being a part of this program. We're also a social business, and we have a vision to create an America where everyone, no matter their race or circumstance, can produce, prepare, purchase, and consume healthy food. So like I said, we are excited to be here, and I'm going to pass this over next to Evan, who is just amazing. All of our team is so amazing, and I can't even tell you how excited we are to just be together and support one another. But Evan, can you go ahead and share who you are and what you do?
All right, thanks so much for that introduction, Stephanie. My name is Evan Springfield Cobb, originally from Durham, North Carolina. To share a little bit about my business, One Option, we have two different components to our business. One is the athletic side, the other is the educational side, which I'm going to share with you guys today. Our main focus is interacting with the youth of our community through hands-on interactive learning to teach them life skills. Teachers in today's society, they don't either have the time or it's not in the curriculum to teach the life skills that we need to be productive adults. Things like taxes, budgeting, investing, and real estate, just to name a few, are the things that we pick up as adults if we rub elbows with the right individuals. Life lessons are always taught on the fly, and I ask myself, why is that? So I want to make a change in our community through education. changing the way that we teach our kids about life skills, because they study for math tests, science tests, social studies tests, but when do they actually study for the things that we'll use in life to be productive adults? So I want to change the way that we learn in our communities in order to provide people the availability or the affordability to chase their dreams. Because if you don't have the financial backing or the financial foundation, it's kind of hard to actually step out there and trust yourself and be able to afford to chase your dreams. So that's what I want to do with my program, is to provide kids with education about life skills so that as they make the transition into adulthood, whether it's through college or straight out of high school, that they could be prepared to be a successful adult in this society. So that's my journey as far as why I started, because I don't know everything, but I do have a huge passion for making the change. So that's the reason I started on my journey, so that people can afford to chase their dreams. So that's a little bit about myself, and I'm gonna turn it over to Brandon.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. My name is Brandon Christian. I'm a North Carolina native, a Durham native as well. A longtime entrepreneur since I was maybe about 10 years old. I knew that I wanted to have my own business, and I think it was in 2000, I can remember Googling how to start a business, how to write a business plan, and just doing a lot of intense research at an early age on how to, be self-employed. And throughout my journey, I've been a college student. I actually studied fashion design. That's my first passion. My background is fashion. And I went to the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, as well. I studied art history and Italian. And, I did that just to build up my foundation for going overseas and wanted to be a famous fashion designer. And so that's still my passion. But as I went into the fashion industry, I learned that it takes a lot of money to have a successful clothing business. So I actually started a skincare line. Skincare is something that I'm very passionate about. I'm someone who's had trouble skin since a teenager, up into my early adult age. And so I tried everything from over the counters to things from prescriptions, and they never really fixed my issues. And so, that was always a challenge for me, having acne and, sometimes low confidence because of how my skin looked. And after college, I went and I worked in corporate America for a little bit. I worked for Citibank. That's where I became a real customer service advocate. And I did that for about 3 years. And during that time, I was still wanting to be entrepreneurial. And so I left corporate America and I said, hey, what can I do to get myself on that path to become a skincare entrepreneur? So I started working for a Massage Envy clinic. I worked for Massage Envy for about 3 years, learning how to give a facial, learning about clinical skincare. And we had a clinical brand that we sold in the clinic. And I felt like it worked, but it was not sustaining my results. So I saw a white space for people of color needing something to have at home. So I worked on formulas at home. I searched for organic ingredients to start an all-natural skincare brand. And I actually got together with an esthetician who helped me build my line. It's all-natural, vegan, botanical, clinical line for troubled skin. And we've done pretty good. I've had the business for about doing sales about 2 years now. And I'm trying to get into some big box stores and into some spa clinics in the future. So I'm going to pass it over to Tasha.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. My name is Tashua Alexander. I'm an artist. I started making music when I was, 6 years old, and that has been my passion ever since. And that same passion has driven me to become an entrepreneur in that. So now, not only am I an artist, I'm an artist who takes himself serious. I started my own pretty much brand to kind of brand myself and kind of spread my name out there, which will ultimately become like a promotion company where I will help myself and other artists book shows. I have my own clothing line. I'm wearing it right now. That's why I'm not wearing a dress shirt right now. But yeah, my basically music is the force that drives me, and it never really goes away. So with that being said, I also have like a spirit of just tenacity and never giving up on that dream, because I know there are so many people who could use a vehicle that I'm trying to build. And so with deepening that foundation, I have music all on the streaming platforms. And also I'm working on some more gear, some more hoodies, shirts, sweatpants, all that stuff. And really, I just need to connect with people, and I just need to, share my story with the world, because I feel like it's something that needs to be told.
So I'm just smiling. I can't help. I'm just smiling. So I want to know from you what it's been like coming together as a unit, as a cohort, and what is it that has brought, what is it you most need, and what is it that you have found through coming together in this group and through the Commonwealth?
Can I go?
Yeah.
Can I go? All
Sure.
right. So I want to first open up by saying I love the 3 individuals that you have introduced me to, even though I have never met them in person. They have been absolutely incredible with support and wisdom, and just all those little things that you need as a business owner, or somebody, if you need somebody in your corner, I have that times 3. And last night I had a conversation with the 3 of them, asking about, how do they do the work-life balance? When you're trying to get a business coming up, you don't have all the money in the business, so you got to work. And I was just asking them, how do y'all deal with this? And they gave me so much information, so many tools, and so many ways to really think about things. It really changed my whole perspective on it. And I'm so much more optimistic today than I was yesterday. And I will tell you that right now. One thing that I need from the group is exactly what they have provided. And that is, just somebody to be there, somebody going through the same things. And, we're all walking in the same footsteps. So I really, 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 really appreciate that and this whole thing. Thank you, David.
That's beautiful.
I guess I'll go next. So with the Web Square group that us 4 have created, I really appreciate the what's a good word I can use? The support from the other 3 members in the group, just to make sure that we're staying on time, we're staying on schedule, that the individuals that may have said that they were going to do something, see if that they've done it already, and just holding each other accountable. Because me, myself, personally, what I'm looking for is more business structure or foundation, because I have great ideas. I've got the ball rolling as far as my engagement with the youth, but more so structure and, hey, Evan, this is what you have. This is what we need to do in order to be successful long term. And this is what you do have, and this is what we may need. So just more so foundational about business structure and making sure that I'm just not being stagnant, but how I can move on to be continue to grow in the right spaces and also efficiently.
Okay, for me, I like to say coming into the Commonwealth or being invited in by Dave was, something I didn't expect. I met Dave over the summer at a pop-up shop that I have for my business, my skincare line, and he invited me to be on his podcast. And so that ended up being my first interview that I had about my business. And it got me really excited to be around people who were in the entrepreneurial space in the local area, the Triangle. And coming in, I've met some people who've already connected me with other people who can help me get my business to the next level very quickly. And that's very exciting. And the Web Squared group that we're creating, I'm excited to be a part of it as well. Meeting Stephanie, Evan, and Tosh just randomly, but on the same page, just trying to build a business to help take care of ourselves and our family. how we can vibe off one another's strengths and just business acumen has been a positive experience.
So Stephanie, I'd like you, as you to kind of talk about what the name is, what the name, why we have the name, and then what is it what it is that you are doing and continuing to do as an organization, both individually and in the space of the Commonwealth. And
I can do that. But first, let me just say that something really powerful happens when you find your group, when you come together with like-minded people. And Tashua was holding up his hand. We're all working on different things, but we're like one in the sense that the values that we hold and the goals and the way that we want to achieve our goals are united and unified. And just being a part of WEBB2 and being a part of the Commonwealth, it has just, we call ourselves WEBB2, and part of that squared is like we're exponentially like adding on to all the different areas that are needed when you're an entrepreneur. So like our networks and the information that we have and our resources and our assets, and those things are just expanded because we all bring that along with ourselves to this space. So we last night decided that we would be WEBB2, and then earlier this morning we were like, okay, so we need to have some the acronym is WEBB, but we need to have some meaning behind that W, that E, and that B. So while we were just before this call, we were looking at some titles. And hold on, Dave, let me just see if I can yeah. So we were playing with this, and the guys haven't heard this yet, so y'all just check it out. And this is what Dave came up with: wealth through entrepreneurship for Black businesses, which I thought was incredible. You like that?
Yes, sir.
Wealth through entrepreneurship for Black businesses. It's just, it's what we're doing. It's what we're about. We've just been here together supporting one another. Since I've only been a part of this now, I was just invited on 2 weeks ago. And in a week's time, in this 2 weeks' time, I've got meetings, like actual meetings with potential investors and people that can help me figure out how to think about shifting our business model and the project overall, and really that information that will really help us achieve and get to our next goals, and then just like expanding the networks. Dave, you mentioned that in the beginning. These are relationships that I may have never been able to make, just because it's not a circle that I've been in. But this developing relationships and adding on to like pertinent information that is critical for success, and then like all of us meeting weekly, chatting daily, inspiring one another, developing the mental mindset and the strength to endure. Those things are like, I can't put a price on it.
So I want to put a little bit of context on where we are, because as you can, first of all, as you can tell, this is evolving. I mean, this is happening so fast. I mean, 2 weeks for you, and I think we had our first meeting like a week and a half ago, when we just brought you all together, brought everyone together. So one, the speed of evolution is just moving. And I want to just put a little perspective too, kind of so people can get a better understanding of what context we're working in. So we have the Commonwealth Group, which is a collection of, it's a membership group of purpose-driven or heart-powered entrepreneurs. And all of them, everyone you see here on the screen, if Josh can give us a, you know, if you've seen them all, or everyone you've seen individually, we're all members of the Commonwealth Group, and we meet weekly to do a lot of what the WEBB2 group is doing, which is to learn from each other, to bring speakers in. That's why Stephanie was there, that's why Brandon was there. And also just to be able to stay attuned to our deepest passion and like what's ours to do in the marketplace. I mean, I think this is the question that we're asking all the time in the Commonwealth, is what's ours to do as business people, and then all the sub questions like what's ours to do right now in terms of the racial climate. So we're always looking at what's ours to do. And then this particular configuration is kind of a spontaneous, it's a spontaneous configuration in the sense that we knew that we had support to be able to bring people into the Commonwealth and bring people into our networks and otherwise collaborate with entrepreneurs of color. And then we just brought these four people together. And then like I just sat back and thought, whoa, I mean, what the heck? Because I'm used to having to drive things and being the guy with a whip, you know, or the guy up on the soapbox, let's go. And I'm just like, I can't keep up with them. So this particular, so I guess so this configuration, one, there was Commonwealth members. Two, they are going to help grow the WEBB program, the WEBB2 program, so we can bring more and more people in, attract more and more support from mentorship and money and other ways too, to be able to expand this program. But so that's, anyway, that's how this thing is. So part of it is like, it's part of the Commonwealth Group and part of a subset and just, of course, just an integrated whole of the group, but also a separate organization that by advancing their own businesses are also advancing wealth through entrepreneurship in Black businesses as well. So hopefully that makes a little more sense in terms of what we're all doing, because it's spontaneous and it's beautiful. And I guess what I'd like to ask is what do you most need in your businesses right now? I'd like to hear from each of you as people are listening and as we put this out there. It could be specific, it could be general, is what can we do to support you and in turn support all entrepreneurship and specifically Black entrepreneurship? So anyone can go.
I guess I'll go first. What I'm looking for, like I mentioned earlier, was business structure. Somebody to help me with making sure my business plan is pretty solid, so that if I run into a bump as far as that we did this year with 2020 with COVID, that I would be able to maintain my business. As far as funding wise, I think that would also be addressed when we address the business plan, as far as what I would need in order to get my business started. Right now I'm working virtually, so the overhead is very low and I'm still able to continue to maintain or to engage with the kids. So at this point, what I'm looking for from the Commonwealth, as well as Heart Powered Ventures and the WEBB2, would be the foundational structure of, hey, this is what a good business looks like. These are the things that you need to be doing on a daily basis. Or, hey, Evan, based on what you've told me, we may need to restructure your business because financially it doesn't seem like it would allow you to support your family. Because that's my ultimate goal, is to work for myself, not to have a 9-to-5 job, because I know an entrepreneurial lifestyle is a lifestyle. So that's what I kind of want to change this into, is to make sure that I can structure my business properly so that I can step away from my day-to-day job and make this my life. So that's what I'm looking for from the group.
Okay, I'll go next. I would say the thing that I need the most right now for my business, being a clothing brand and potentially a promotion company, is I need access to, individuals who could not necessarily distribute, but, put my brand on like a pedestal, so to speak, so like maybe big social media influencers or something of that sort, because all I need is to grow the network for me personally. I think that's so in that, WEBB2 is perfect for me because it is a network. It's about networking with people who could potentially further your business. So that's already taken care of. Now I just need somebody who could really just help, take my business and put it, in front of the eyes of more than, the 900 people that I got so far. So that's what I need. Mm.
Okay, guys, I'll go next. For me personally, at this time, going into 2021, I'm actually working on a crowdfunding project, something I've been putting a lot of energy into the past, I want to say 24 months. I'm just trying to come up with a goal. And so what I'm trying to do is transition my product line into sustainable packaging, made of a material out of bio-based derived materials. There's an opportunity to create a plastic tube out of sugar cane. And this is a very sustainable option. It's sugar cane, it grows very fast. It doesn't take a lot of resources to grow. It helps reduce carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. So there's a lot of great benefits there. My thing is, when I create my campaign, I just, I'm gonna email it out. And if you guys could email it out, forward it out to, your networks to help us reach our goal, that will be a lot of help.
And with Sweeties, so since 2015, Sweeties has been doing catering for corporations, institutions like charter schools and daycare centers. We have created thousands of meals at a time. And since the pandemic hit, our market has also been hit. And so we're not catering. But what we have found from producing doing all those catering jobs is like we've got some really favorite products that people would like to have in their restaurants, in the grocery stores. People would like to be able to purchase them. We've been getting a lot of requests for that. And we've had some of the charter schools and school districts inquire about purchasing our products wholesale. So moving from like this institutional catering to manufacturing and distribution to institutions is a huge, I would call it a right turn. And it's a project that that is over my skill set. And so we need guidance, we need information, we need to be able to talk to people that already do this type of thing so that they can share best practices. We need potential investors, because I know for sure that it will require some significant resources to be able to start it. We need to understand what marketing looks like for this, to become a regional and then a national brand, like what the steps are. So that's what we're most in need of right now.
So I want to put out a kind of a call to people, a call to action for everyone who's watching this. And that is, as I said, I'll go to the first thing, which is like, what's yours to do? And to ask that question seriously and not like, oh my God, what's mine to do? My relationships with each of these people, I mean, I met Brandon at the pop-up and I saw what he was and I saw who he was. And I thought, wow, what a great guy. My stepdaughter bought his products and loves them. And, so there's a relationship. Tasha, I met when we were buying Men's Warehouse, and I don't know if we were renting a tux for my wedding or what it was, but I thought, wow, what a energetic and brilliant entrepreneurial guy. And how can I help? And Evan I met because he's a basketball through my stepson, and Stephanie I met. But anyway, the fact is that when we're interested in people, when we're actually just care enough to be interested in people, and I didn't care if Brandon was black, Tasha was black entrepreneur. Just people, and the blackness is then becomes just part of the picture. But the point is that when you engage with life in a way that you're interested in people and how you might be able to work with people, then what's yours to do reveals itself. So that's just kind of an overview of that. But really, I have had people now that are volunteering to say, hey, let me give an hour, give an hour a week to help, or an hour a month or whatever, to be able to be part of a resource network that we can bring in. I mean, right now with Stephanie, we have 2 calls today, right after this. One is with Tom Ferguson, who's the founder of Rise Biscuits, who's, going to give us an hour of time to figure out how he might help. Benji Jones, who was on our podcast, I believe last week, is setting us up with an investor we're talking to later today. We're talking with Chandler. There's just people we can bring in. If you want to be able to bring what you have into this picture, I'd really encourage you to reach out to us through the Commonwealth and through our Heart Powered Ventures, so that we can just figure out how this looks. And I'd also want to plug the Commonwealth group as well, which is just really the kind of the super matrix of all of this, in which these kind of initiatives arise and these kind of networks arise. So yeah, so that's basically kind of the call to action here too. We're really gearing up to next year. We'll be reaching out again. And I just want to just tell the 4 of you that I am so thrilled with what we're building, what we're all building together, and what Rinny and Stacy and Josh are helping us build together. And it's just a beautiful interplay of each of us being who we are and not pretending we're not who we are, and that there aren't differences between us. But then we just share a care and a love and a love for business and a desire to do better that transcends and includes our race. And I think that transcendence and the inclusion of that is not just a beautiful way for us to live, but I think it's really the model with which we move forward and find what's ours to do in this moment. So I want to thank you all and for everything, for being on this, and for really letting me just relax and watch you guys make this thing hum. I want to thank you personally for that as well.
Thank you, Dave.
It's great to not drive the car for a while. And each of you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you. I love you.
Yeah, it's boys at Mutual. So we'll